This video is sponsored by our Ultimate Vegan Cooking course. Learn the basics of how to cook without recipes and the fundamentals of plant-based cooking. Link down below to learn more.
Yo dudes! Welcome to Vegan Feta Roasted Veg Pasta Bake. Okay, this is incredibly delicious. This is decadent. My children adored it last night when we had it for dinner, and you may have seen a similar recipe on this social media platform known as TikTok.
Yes.
This is our version of it. It's really tasty, really simple, and it's so worth trying.
Takes 40 minutes to make and could feed 4 people, but 2 people would very happily enjoy it.
And one
all.
person would destroy it.
This is delicious anyway. Okay, we're gonna start. First step, we're gonna make our vegan feta.
So into our food processor, we're adding 300 grams of firm tofu. Next, we're gonna add in 60 ml of melted coconut oil. Juice of 1 large lemon, just make sure there's no pips in it. We soaked 60 grams of cashew nuts overnight, or we soaked them in boiling water for 10 minutes. Just make sure to drain them and give them a good rinse to remove any of that kind of acid. Pop them into the food processor. Finally, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Pop the lid on and blend till lovely and smooth.
Okay, the feta's done, so we're gonna prep our veg. I've got 1 red pepper. I'm gonna slice it up nice and fine.
And I've got 1 aubergine, also known as eggplant. The thinner you chop it, the quicker it's gonna bake. Next up, we've got 500 grams of cherry tomatoes. If you can get different colors, it just looks cooler. However, any ones will do great.
We got the fancy ones, red, yellow, and then this other tiger striped one.
Next up, I have 4 cloves of garlic, just pop them in.
I have a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of oregano, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm gonna add them to it. I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of oil. We're just gonna mix it all together so that it starts to come together and it starts to look fantastic, it really does.
Aubergines really soak up oil, so by kind of just really mixing it through, it means they're gonna caramelize, become soft, become gooey, become melt in your mouth. Yes.
You can use a spoon, but I just love being tactile with food, so get your washed
obviously
hands.
make sure your hands are clean.
And just get in there. I just find I just love to be tactile.
You can add in more love.
Okay, last thing before we pop it all in the oven is
we got this feta. It's so tasty. It's really, really beautiful. It's really salty, just jam full of flavor. We're literally gonna pop that in the middle.
Last thing before we bake it in the oven is we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of oil on top of the feta, and then we're ready to go.
Looks deadly. Deadly means good, by the way, in Irish dialect. We've preheated the oven to 180 degrees. We're gonna bake this for about 40 minutes. What we want is succulent,
Delicious,
juicy
soft, yummy vegetables.
Aubergines, and the feta will just kind of become crumbly and delicious.
Yeah, here we go.
So our veg and feta have been baked in the oven for 30 minutes. For the last 10 minutes, we're just gonna boil our pasta. So I've got about 3 liters of water, nicely bubbling. I'm putting in a generous pinch of sea salt, and we're gonna go in with 400 grams of dried pasta of choice. We're using rigatoni, but you can use whatever you want.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime! Okay, veg are ready, pasta's cooked, it's time to put it all together.
So feta does look a little brown. Don't worry, this looks amazing when it's finished. So I'm gonna drain our pasta with a slotted spoon. Just make sure it's cooked to al dente. Now give it a nice mix, and that extra bit of pasta water from the pasta is just gonna help spread that sauce even better.
This looks like it looks good, but it smells amazing. Like I feel like the drill's nearly coming down.
And I love when the cherry tomatoes and the pepper are kind of like gooing and spreading through that vegan feta. It's just magnificent.
Like it really just, I wish you were here. I wish you were here, genuinely. Okay, we've got some fresh basil. I'm gonna take a few off the stalk and add them through it. I'm leaving them whole leaf because in the heat they're gonna go a little bit wilty.
Okay, here we are, baked, creamy, feta, roasted veg, pasta bake. This looks amazing, really, really does. And I'm gonna get loads of that gooey stuff.
Oh my God, look at that. Oh. Thank you for making it this far. This is just...
It's a really delicious recipe, like genuinely easy to make. That's class. Very straightforward and genuinely delicious.
Steve made it for his family the other night and they were hopping off it. Absolutely. So if you've got kids, it's a great one for a family dish or any kind of celebratory dish.
Just
Thank you for watching, genuinely. And I hope you do make this. This is really, really good.
Comfort food is best. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for being part of this community and sending lots of love.
Cheers.